The Bucks acquire Drew Holiday. Looks like they somehow didn't acquire Bogdanovich. The Rockets, are they going to trade away both their guys? The Sixers making moves. Obviously, the Nets making moves. The Lakers add Schroeder. But the most underachieving, disappointing failure in the NBA last year was the Clippers. So what major moves are they making? Landry Shamet for Luke Kennard? That ain't it, my friends. So I'm very curious to see what the Clippers have left in the tank. Are they moving on from Beverly and Lou Williams? Is Paul George potentially on the block? Is Kawhi Leonard going to talk at any point? These are all questions people have, and Luke Kennard is not the answer to them. So it's just something to watch because it didn't really happen on draft night.
I got one for you. Stanley Cup champ Braden Holtby was signed by the Vancouver Canucks. So why isn't he in Vancouver? Because Braden and his two tortoises are stuck at the Canadian border. I told Steph the story this morning. She looked at me and she went, 2 tortoises? Yeah, Steph, 2 tortoises. Honey and Maple. They didn't have export papers from the Fish and Wildlife Services for Honey and Maple. So Braden and Honey and Maple. Look, they have a very strict tortoise policy in Canada. You can't bring 2 tortoises in if you don't have your papers. So as of this morning, Braden and Honey and Maple, I wish you all the best, my friends. Good luck getting the papers. But that's the way it goes when you're on your way to Canada. Time to run the fast break with Chris Broussard. Let's go, Broussard. The Sixers reportedly traded Al Horford and 2 picks to the Thunder last night for Danny Green. Then during the second round last night, Philly made a trade with Dallas for Seth Curry. Got some shooters. Steph Curry tweeted, Sixers, y'all got a good one. I bet you he said it because it was his brother. That's probably why I did it. Hey, Broussard, Daryl Morey, active already. What do these moves do for the future of the 76ers?
Morey props. He has come in there and worked some miracles right away. I mean, most people didn't think you could get rid of Al Horford's contract. He did that. And then he brings in a 3-and-D guy with championship pedigree in Danny Green and one of the best shooters, arguably the best shooter in the NBA in Seth Curry. When you put those two around Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid, that is a starting 5 that should be elite on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. What it's going to come down to now in Philadelphia is culture and maturity. And that's what you bring Doc Rivers in for and Daryl Morey. Can they create a championship professional culture in that organization that gets them close to a championship? And then their 2 stars, Simmons and Embiid, have got to mature. As much as we talk about the problems with their games matching each other, what a lot of people out there in Philly will tell you is that it's really about them each wanting to be the man. They really are concerned about, am I the man or is he the man? What is he doing? What am I doing? Is he getting more credit than I'm getting? Doc Rivers has to sit them down and explain to them, it doesn't matter. If we win at a high level, you both will get major praise, especially with one being a perimeter guy and one being a big man. Because on paper, they're as nice as Brooklyn as anybody except maybe Brooklyn in the East.
And let me add to that. If people worry about the Simmons and Embiid fit, look at the on-court numbers. Those 2 on the court together, plus J.J. Redick, the 2 years he was there.
That's right.
They were better than plus 18 points per 100 possessions. Seth is a better shooter than J.J. Redick. Statistically, I'm not saying this is the take, but statistically, he's the best shooter in the history of basketball. This is why Daryl's great. Daryl understands how to build out the other pieces of the team. I know for a fact the Rockets looked at Seth Curry a year ago, but because of their switch everything defense, he wasn't a fit on that end. But when you have Joel Embiid manning the paint and Ben Simmons as an all-league defender on the perimeter, you can handle a minus defender in Seth Curry. So that's a great move for them. Getting off the Horford contract is magic. And I'm telling you right now, America, I'm not saying this is my pick, but I am saying I might have this morning placed a small financial investment on a Lakers-Sixers NBA Finals, which right now pays out at 40 to 1. So, you know, $250 to win, I call it $10,000. Lakers Sixers. Just putting it out there, Brandon. It's just available to you, America. Yeah. And you should maybe consider it.
Look, Nick, I'm a huge J.J. Redick fan. He actually married one of my college friends. Look, when the Sixers lost him, they needed shooters. They haven't been able to find any shooters. Last night, they got 2. Doc Rivers goes and gets his son-in-law, Seth Curry. They get Danny Green. They have 2. I really like this for the Sixers. Now, Danny Green, his lone year in Toronto when they won the championship, he was shooting the 3-ball at 46%. Last year, he dropped down to 37. Danny Green, get back on track. Please don't continue to trend in this direction because you have a great opportunity ahead of you. You could potentially win 3 in a row. Woo! Wows, I like this for the Sixers.
All right, moving on to the Golden State Warriors now. And some bad news reported yesterday with Klay Thompson suffering a lower leg injury in training. It's believed to be an Achilles injury. We don't know yet. Crushing blow after he sat out all of last year with an ACL. Nick, how devastating could this be for Klay and the Warriors' title chances?
Well, for Klay, I'm wrecked. He is one of the most well-liked, one of the best people in the league. Never causes no problems. He could have really caused a ruckus when they bring in Durant. Instead, he continued to do his job brilliantly and was an Iron Man in this league until that NBA Finals dunk where he tears his ACL, and now he suffers another potentially major injury. So for him personally, this is as bad as it gets. For the Warriors, it's even worse. I thought the Warriors were way overvalued with a healthy Klay Thompson. Without a healthy Klay Thompson, Broussard, they are going to be a fringe playoff team. Like, Draymond is not the guy he was 5 years ago, and your favorite player in the league, Andrew Wiggins, is going to ask to be the second option on that team. So this is disastrous for Golden State, and I feel sick for Klay.
Well, you handled the personal stuff. I mean, obviously, we all feel terrible for Klay Thompson. Also, this is the best NBA backcourt in history. The best backcourt in NBA history, and we may not get to see them for a second straight year. Nick, you surprised me because I'm with you. Obviously, they have absolutely no chance at winning the championship. I thought I might be alone in saying they might not make the playoffs out west. Because the problem is that your second best player, Draymond Green, doesn't score. So now you are looking at Andrew Wiggins to be the second scorer on a very good team, and I don't know that he can do that. I loved him, and you're right. You teased me about liking Andrew Wiggins. I love him as a fourth guy. And that's what he was when Klay is there, the fourth guy, the third option scorer. He'd be great in that role. But now as a second guy, no, they need James Wiseman to mature immediately and be ready to be productive right away. And they need Wiggins to step up and be a very good 22-point scorer as the second guy for them to even just make the playoffs.
Yeah, I still think they make the playoffs. I don't know if you believe in the Suns, or I know you don't believe in the Blazers. You spent the entire, summer making fun of me, Broussard, so I know you don't believe in the Blazers. But I still think they make the playoffs. I think Steph is going to come back and have a resurgent year. And just glass half full, and I really feel for Klay. If there was a guy, and the defense would really suffer, obviously, but if there was a guy who was built to be like the purest spot-up shooter since Ray Allen, it's probably Klay. We've seen him explode for monster games where he has more points and three-point attempts than he does dribbles. So, Brandon, I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible. I think that he would still be very effectively, play very effectively, even if he's limited by an Achilles, if that turns out to be what it is, which I hope it isn't.
Yeah, let's hope that it's not that bad, but this is devastating if he has an Achilles.